A motion for the parks rental policy. Do we want to come back to this? Do we think this is going to take a few minutes, or do we want to just keep going?
I'd say keep going.
Okay. All right, I printed out copies for you guys that, Gail and I revised the, policy per the attorney. The only thing we changed from the attorney's thing was wherever it said, Tuscarora Township Board, we put in Tuscarora Township Board of Trustees, because that's
Correct.
your suggestion. So we did change all of those. And then when I sent you the copies, I didn't put trustees, I just put trustee. So I added all the S's to the trustees. So that's been corrected. On page 2, I don't think the attorney had any rates on here. Attorney's thing, I'm sorry, putting it together. Okay, there are no rates. So I inserted the rates on page 2 of your policy. You and Doug have to share.
Well,
Oh, you have it? Okay. All right, so that's all I did, and then I put, commercial rate, Marina Park, $1,000, or if you guys want, we can put, call the office for rates. Or we can leave it the way it is right here, whatever you guys think is best.
I think it'd be best to leave it the way it is. If someone comes to us with a unique situation,
We can go from there.
go from there.
Okay, I agree. All right, so that is, those are the only changes we made after we made all the attorney's suggestions. And the very last page, we changed the signatures. Tuscalora's on behalf of renter. We put the renter and date received by, rather than this. And this one I'm talking, yeah. And I need to know, my signature indicated that I have read and understand English. Is that correct? Because my computer kept telling me to take and out, but I think it should be there, right? This is the very last page, page 5.
I do not have that. And should be in there.
Okay, you don't have this page?
I do not have that.
I think it's fine to take it out because I have read. I read and understand English and we didn't understand English. That might be why, not that it's not right, but I think that's probably why your computer's telling me that.
Okay, so
I have in front of it, it's fine.
it's fine.
I do have problem with the word English.
Well, that was requested by, Chris to put that in.
I would just have it say, I have read and understand the terms. You get into specifying the language.
So my signature indicates that I have read and understand the terms,
And agreed to by the parks. Yeah.
terms, and agree to abide by the facility
Yeah.
reservation policy. Okay. Okay. So that's the only change that, and the, Karen Decker will update this on the website. I'll give her a final draft with that changes, and then we should be good to go. So do I have a motion
I make a motion
to approve this?
to approve our new application form.
No, policy,
Oh, policy.
policy. This is the policy.
The new contract, right?
Okay, it should,
The policy. I make a motion to
that should have
approve the
said
new policy.
That should have said policy.
Okay, the policy.
And I'll second.
Okay, Pat seconds. All in favor? Aye, okay. I need to add on here, we'll say 8, or 7A. And that is the new application form, which is, it looks like this one. I have writing on it.
Okay,
Which we can,
Not to be technical, but we've already approved the agenda. We can't modify it.
We can't add this.
It should have been added before we approved the agenda.
well, it says
It's
motion
right
to
here.
approve new application form, it's number 6.
approve new application form,
Number 6.
number 6.
Okay, then I did them out of order.
Okay.
I
But
did it
that's
out of
fine,
order.
you can go back up to it then.
Okay, I did it out of order.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys,
So we're on 6.
We can make it correct.
Yeah.
all right, so we're gonna do number 6. We've already done number
7.
7. Apologies. Okay, the only thing that was added to the old application was about the porta potty and the garbage. And here you can. Huh? Well, this is if we use the old one. And this is if we use, the new one. So right now, all you're looking at is this and this. Just regard all the writing that's on there, guys. Just look at the forms. Yeah, just, that's all we added was this.
Okay.
So, do we have a motion to approve that? Or do you guys want to take, I mean,
No, it's.
it's
We
self,
discussed this the
yeah,
last
it's,
couple
it's
meetings.
nothing new, it's just added.
And that's actually county requirement, so.
So we're good. So we're gonna start using the new application form with the porta potty and the garbage removal added.
Correct.
Okay, anybody wanna make a motion?
I'll
to-
make that motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, I gotta slow down. All right, Doug, do you have any updates on the grant? Did you find out anything about?
About getting scoreboard support, no, I did not. I still have to call the guy and,
Well, what about
but I
moving?
guess if I have approval from the board, if they say it's fine, I'm going to vote. As long as you're fine.
Okay, wait, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
What happened to moving the, skate park in the basketball court? Is that, off the table?
That's still an option because, I mean, there would be money left over from the 2 scoreboards
Oh, there
to
was.
be able to probably make that
Okay,
happen.
all right. Then does anybody want to make a motion for Doug? You're just getting 1 scoreboard,
I was going to get 2,
2 scoreboards?
the small $3,000 ones, there's 10,000. Oh, I can't, 10,000 something left in the grant, so it would leave us plenty to do the basketball over. We have $10,620 left in the grant to be used,
What was that figure again?
10,620.
600.
And the scoreboards are in the approximate 3,500 range, so we're looking at 7 there. That would leave us 3,000 to get basketball goals.
For back there,
For back there.
okay. Does anybody want to make a motion that we approve Doug to do that?
I make.
Or do we have more discussion?
Any questions about that?
I'll second it.
Okay, I make a motion to approve W fifty-seven.
Start working on it.
Andrew's not here, so we don't have any updates. Okay, no updates.
Updates.
All right, I think I already talked about the closing of the post. And,
I would just say that the board will approve it.
okay, so we'll just, you make the motion, she'll second it, and we'll send it to the board, and that might be approved. Okay. Pat makes the motion, Stacy seconds. And, I approve. Okay, the DNR grant for the bathrooms down. I have a couple questions for Doug.
Okay.
Do we have a well down there?
There is a old abandoned artesian, part of the package would be put a well in there.
We'd have to put a well. And I know, according to the ordinance, that we're supposed to hook up. But if, I checked in how much we paid Chansky, and it's only like $9,000 a year to pump it up. Does that sound about correct?
No,
And I just think this bathroom's a lot of money. If we don't, we don't get the grant.
I guess, but it is a lot of money, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what
It's a non-option. You
Oh.
have to put it back.
Why is it a non-option? I don't understand.
State law.
What beach have you been to? Public
I just
beach
go to my
that was
beach.
owned by a community or whatever that didn't have a public restroom facility. You've got families down there with small children that need to go to the bathroom. And,
But the bathrooms that's there, they can go to the bathroom.
No, they're going to make you take, the
No, they're
health
not.
department is gonna make.
No, they're
you-
not. I've talked to the health department. They are not going to make it. They want us to have some type of a facility down there that people can use for the bathroom. I don't have his name. I talked to him last month. I talked to him. I said, well, because that was one of the rumor that was going around that we have to tear those down. And he said, no, we will not make you tear them down. We want you to have some type of facility there that they can use the bathroom. And I'm just putting this out there because I think it's a lot of money. Even if we get the grant, we still have to come up with, I think it's 25% of the money. And unless people are gonna start helping with trying to find grants and ways to get some money, I don't know how we're gonna do it.
May I say something?
Absolutely.
The parks had no say in the sewer system going in.
I
I
Neither
do
did the
not
public.
think the parks should be solely responsible for putting in new bathrooms. If worse comes to worse, the sewer district should have to absorb some of that because that's part of them,
And when you say the sewer district,
sewer district one.
are you talking the people that live in the sewer district?
Yes, the ones that signed to have it go in.
But, I don't know, I
I
don't know.
just don't see why it should all fall 100% on the parks when the parks have no say.
Well, I heard it wasn't going to, I heard it was going to fall on, do you remember that, Vicki, at all? Okay, I heard that it was gonna be on the people who phase one and phase two. It wasn't just gonna be on phase one, it was gonna be on all of us, put into our bills. But,
Is that for the OEMs or, oh, I'm sorry.
no, I didn't hear you.
Is that for the, are you talking about for the maintenance or has the sewers been allocated RDU or who pays for that? I've heard there's been a discussion about who, but I never heard what was found.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna pay for it,
That's the first I've
I
heard of
don't know.
anything. I was under
Who's
the
gonna pay
impression
for
that
the
we were gonna
hookup?
have to pay our own RUs.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that we need to know.
That was my impression.
Right, like we do.
What
Like
did
the
you say?
bathroom
My
center.
objection was, we had no say in it, why do we absorb 100% of the cost?
It's not gonna go to the whole Tuscarora Township. It's only gonna go to the people that have sewers. I'm gonna say 98. I'm gonna give you 2%, you figure it out. But I think that's something we need to look into a little bit better than what we have.
Right, I do, I mean, personally, it would be much nicer to have
Well, I get it.
full-on restrooms down there for maintenance, for everything, just taken care of. They're disgusting.
I get it. I agree with you 100%. But the
You
pricing
don't even
is-
know the tip of disgusting, but-
The pricing is a lot.
I know,
It is a lot.
and the longer we wait, the higher it goes.
Exactly, so, and within this DNR thing, we need to set up a meeting so we can distribute some of the work that has to be done for this DNR, grant. We need to get letters of, recommendations, we need letters
Have
of,
you considered, I think the last time we used them, like NEMCOG,
no, I haven't,
they're like $1,500 and they will guide you hand in hand through the whole thing. They do all the work. It's great. And that's what they do.
Do they guarantee an acceptance of approval?
It doesn't guarantee an approval, but your chances are probably better with a professional doing it than us trying to figure it out. That was what we did when we applied for it last year.
okay. All right, so, I mean, we're at a meeting, nothing's gonna be done with that right now, so we'll just, any other discussion on it? All right, we'll go to new business. Patty, thank you for coming, and Lincoln, thank you for coming. We just wanted to touch base with you guys because, we know you have used Eagle Beach for your kayaking classes or whatever. And Patty, we know we've talked, and I have to apologize to you. There is no ordinance that they told me there was an ordinance. It's just in our policy, okay? And all we're asking from you two is A, can you let us know when you're gonna use it? B, when I went down to Eagle Beach, you had your little class right as you're walking down the path. You need to go all the way to the left. You don't need, I just felt it was like very too crowded in that area. So if you could go to one end or the other, instead of right at the cement.
Can I introduce myself? I actually own the business.
Okay,
I'm Stacy Sherman. Lincoln and I have been working together for a long time, like the Boulder, Grassland, Landing, paddle sports in 2020. So I've actually owned Norris Outdoors for 5 years now.
okay.
Lincoln is kind of my go-to here, so he's kind of the big section. So I do have a question when you say let you know when we're going to use it. I mean, in the class that you're seeing, it's not actually a class. We're providing kayak trips in the Indian River, and we like to use Eagle Beach as a launching point because it's, you know, you've got the nice like swim area, so people can kind of get comfortable paddling around before they go, you know, around the break wall into the river. And so when you see Lincoln out there, he's just giving some instruction before they take off. We're not actually providing like kayaking classes at DeVoe Beach. It's just, he's going over just some brief instructions before they take off for their trip. And then he picks them up down by the landings afterwards. But my question about how would you like us to let you know? Because I mean, in July, we could have trips going out every day. And often, you know, I get a phone call, hey, you know, we're in town visiting, we, you know, look you guys up, like to go kayaking. And I connect with Lincoln and he meets them there 2 hours later. So like how can
Okay, so when you connect with Lincoln, could you possibly connect with Doug, send him a text and say, hey, we're having 5 people.
Sure, yeah, that's why I'm
And-
asking, like, what's the best way to?
Yeah, we're gonna work all that out. This is just a prelim. And we wanted, I know Patty, you only used it like 3 times last year. or-
Yes, yes, so for us, we don't use the public act, we don't use Tuscarora Township parks, except
When
over
the
the last
water's
30 years, if there's been extremely high water and the levels are too dangerous on the Sturgeon River,
Right,
then we kind of called it a Plan B.
right,
And first and foremost, we try to get people not to even do that. We'd say, can you come
Right.
tomorrow or can you come the next day when the water's at a different level? But there are some groups who drive from 3 hours and by the time I know, they're already almost here.
right. No, I
Or
get
it's a
that.
big youth group. So there's been a few, but last year was extremely, we had some major rain. And so we did have, I think, 3 days.
Yeah.
Where we offered that as an option. And we've done it for so long and I didn't know it was an issue because we don't park a trailer there. It was just, they start in the state park and they end there. So their cars parked there for about an hour and a half.
But we're not worried
But
about the
that's
car.
it,
We're
so-
not worried about the car. The only thing I say, and I'm speaking for yours, I drove down there and when they pulled in, the boats were all over the place.
That was a youth group that I couldn't get them to come on another day. And
And-
that was our biggest one we've ever had.
And we're fine, and we're fine with it, but we need some type of an order. You know, it's, okay, pull all the way down and you put them at the end. And, you know, because I know at the state park you have a, no, not a
I have a lease with the
No, no,
state
I know
park
you have
at
a lease
their, at
with-
the,
but they put the
Launch.
oars in a, I don't wanna call it
Bins,
a
yes.
top.
we've got like bins there.
Yeah, Ben, if we could put one down there, because it was, I'm gonna be honest, it
No,
was a
that's-
mess, a big
You
amount.
don't wanna put a bin there.
No,
for
I wouldn't want-
occasional
Yeah,
times.
it's gonna wind up.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't wanna put a bid down, and it's just so seldom that the employees I had, they weren't exactly sure what was going on. They were supposed to have picked up the boats every hour or half hour, just to make sure, did someone come in or not? And they should pick up the boats, there should be no equipment there at all, if
Because it
possible.
was there, I mean, I rode my bike and it was there.
That was the most I've ever had probably in 20 years because it was a youth group.
Okay.
And I had employees who didn't go there to get it, but it's so seldom, and I
Right.
think,
It
and
is
I,
very much, last year was the only year I even really noticed. it.
oh,
So,
good, yeah, like I said, it's so seldom, and it was
and
a
as
lot of high
far
water.
I don't
No,
want to
this
call
is-
every day, but you've been doing fine, just staying out of the way.
No, what's,
In my case, I can easily call, because it's so seldom, I
Yeah,
can
that
call
would,
you a
I mean,
heads up.
that's like once in a great while, you say the Riverside, we're gonna be there. So we know to be, I can tell you guys, if you need to move stuff out of the way for people while you're down there, do it. Something like that is no big deal.
Well, I
just-
appreciate that.
I just, for me, it's just if everybody kind of manages so that it is public and you don't want to start crowding, you know, like the kayak launch gets a lot of complaints from people because that's just the nature of that group, that they want everything. One got scratched on it, so we had to take it apart and fix it. You know what I mean? And you get,
And
people get.
I've donated to the Kiwanis, and the Kiwanis put it in there, it's a wonderful
Yeah.
thing for the area.
It is, it's,
Actually, I don't even want my boats to end there, because it's not a raft launch,
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
raft friendly.
Yeah.
I prefer not to have my rafts there at all, because I'm afraid of my rafts getting damaged or
on
something.
the edges
but-
of the, yeah.
But that would be, that's on me if I
Mhm.
choose to try to do that. Our whole goal is just to make it so that when you have a youth group of 28 kids coming, that they're not that disappointed, because we still want them to come to the river, we still want them to buy gas, we still want them to eat at restaurants, and we don't want them to be disappointed, and
And
so that's the
the
few
kids
times
don't
we do
want
it.
to disappoint.
Yes,
And all we're asking is, you have to give us a heads up.
I
That's
sure
it.
can.
That's all we're asking, and it's, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Stacy.
Stacy, I apologize.
Yeah.
When I went down there, he was, to me, this is a class, if somebody's showing you how to, you know, do this, which is fine.
No, I understand,
But
I'm
if he
just, I'm
could
just
just
clarifying that we're not like, I just wanna clarify the, services that we're providing. We're not providing kayak and split classes, that's not what people are signing up for, they're signing up for kayak trips on Indian River.
Right, but like I said, I went down there and he was showing people how, so I assume it was a class. And it was right down the pathway, and if he could just move to the left, you know, down a little bit,
we can do that.
Yeah,
and
that's no problem.
we're not asking you not to do it, And I know where he parks his vehicle, it's not in our parking lot, because that would be, because he has a trailer, and that would be just too much for our
Oh, and
parking.
he doesn't stay there either, it's just,
No, I know.
it's just to drop off the kayaks for people, and then he leaves because he has to go pick them up. So it's not like we're, even when he's parked there, it's not that long, it's not like we're using that parking lot all day. It's just
No, I understand that, but
temporary
just,
parking.
if you can give us a heads up, that would be great. We'll either give you Doug's phone number or the township number or an email that you can send, hey, we're having people, you know, it takes less than 2 seconds to do that.
Okay. So I mean, this, just FYI, I mean, this could be multiple times a day.
Yes, I know, my parents owned canoe for many years, I know how that goes.
So,
And
any other
this is,
questions?
so there are days, similar to, what they're saying, like, or like maybe to Wavy for us to launch. And so with this, do you also want us to let you know if we're going over to the kayak launch instead?
Yes, because that's where she uses, and that's where she ends up. That would be
I-
great.
The kayak launch on Indian River.
You're talking for,
It,
They're
their
running
link is
apart.
screwed
Marina
up,
Park.
they run launch at the,
at the river.
at Marina Park.
Yeah, at the Marina Park. Yeah, that would be great. If, you know, if it becomes, you know, we're just trying to nip it in the bud because we did have, not complaints, but concerns last year. Okay, so that's it. That's all we're trying to do is nip this in the bud, get a little plan going, because we do not want to have to charge. You know, we don't want to have to make an ordinance, and that's what we were suggested last year to do, was go make an ordinance. I'm not interested in doing that. I want to talk people to people, I want to come up with solutions and be done with it. And as far as I'm concerned, we're done, you're willing to let us know, that's all we're asking.
Yeah, and I'm happy, like, as the summer goes on, if you find a more efficient way of communicate, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so many text messages, just, let us know how many people you had at the end of the week or something, like, I'm happy to do that too, so.
That may work too.
Yeah.
You know, everything is trial and error.
As we get going through this, we'll get.
Sounds good.
This is just a new thing, and we're just trying to, keep it in line.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm happy just to have this, face to face, because I'm downstate, I have another location in Brooklyn too, that I'm down there a
So
lot.
should we be contacting you, or should we contact Lincoln, and do you have a business card?
I mean, either way, I'm the one that's like scheduling and coordinating everyone, so. Keep looking out of the middle of the feed. I know Lincoln would be happy to.
I mean, when I get the notification, it's easy enough to pass it on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's fine too.
Okay.
I say, once we get it moving, that's where it rolls smooth, it won't be a big deal.
I think we do need something that relieves the parks of any liability.
I can add you to our also insured. I do
Yeah.
that in Midland as well.
That's my main
Okay.
concern.
It
I
doesn't
didn't
cost
even
me
think
anything
that.
extra, just to throw it on my,
Okay, would you be willing to do that then?
absolutely.
Okay.
I was actually gonna ask if you wanted that.
And one other thing,
Yes, sir.
this, Patty, is a very minor thing, but dumping of the water from the tubes last year, it created a big mud puddle that never dried up. If you could just dump the water either in the river or on the grass. Because we did get a couple complaints from people about parking
Although-
and stepping out of the car, being in a mud puddle.
Although if that was May 28th, the whole park was a mud puddle.
Yeah.
And it only happens for us when it's unbelievably rainy and high water and it's gonna be wet.
That's the
And
luck, isn't
Marina
it?
Park is low,
Yes, it is.
so.
But my overall feeling is they are operating a business that brings people to Indian River. And people spend money when they come here. We should make it as easy as we can,
I
but make
agree,
it as
but
fair as we
I
can.
wanted to have this conversation just so we're all on the same page. Nothing,
Appreciate it.
I don't wanna butt heads, I wanna work with everybody.
We do appreciate it, and I didn't know there was any concerns ever, because like I said, we've been doing this for 30 years. Some years it's not at all.
Yeah,
Other years
and-
like this past, it was a good
And
3
sometimes
times.
nobody goes by there and they don't see it, so
To that end, to Evelyn, so.
Yeah.
That's,
That's okay.
uh,
George,
Why
no,
not?
I'm just kidding.
why don't we plan on getting on the agenda at the end of summer then and have a, how did it go session?
I didn't hear
Put it on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Agenda for
Oh,
the
for
end of
next
summer,
year?
August, first of
Absolutely.
We'll end of the
September.
summer to say, hey, how did it go?
that. Yes,
Yeah.
we can do that. We will do that. Perfect. All right. Any other questions, comments?
The other, just one little comment, we did definitely go and on the first rainy day this year, I went and looked at your sign again. I said, okay, we're not leaving a van here, we don't have a trailer, I don't think we're breaking any laws, I don't think we have to pay a fee. And I also kind of thought, I guess in my mind, I thought, well, we do, because we've been doing it for 30 years, we also own 7 properties in Tuscarora Township. In 2024, I paid over $22,500 in property taxes. And then in our head, I kind of thought, well, for the couple of times we use it, maybe they wouldn't mind if I was using it, but I totally understand and we'll definitely
We
ask
just
ahead
want
of time.
communication. That's all we're asking is communication. And, like I said, I was told last year, they wanted me to start doing the ordinance. I said, no, I'd like to have communication with them first.
We really appreciate that.
So that's where we're gonna leave it, if everybody's okay with that, just try to communicate with you. And, you know, you miss a day here, you miss a day here, we're not gonna come knocking on your doors. But just, you know, communication is the best thing.
As I said, my major concern is that we
The
don't
liability.
face the liability.
Okay, she said she would add us.
Yeah.
So, and can you, just for our, give us proof that we've been added?
Yeah, I'll need, an email text or something.
Good luck with that. I'm just kidding.
Are you asking for where it notes the actual Tuscarora Township on there?
I'm hard of hearing and even if it's.
Are you
Yes.
asking for something
Yes.
from our insurance company that
Yes.
will have Tuscarora Township listed right on there?
Yes, yes. I will call you. Should it go to you? Should it go to somebody in the office?
Oh, that paper should go to court.
Go to court.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
but
get
then
you the
Doug
email.
needs to know also
And I will,
when things are happening.
send it to you.
No, no,
I'll
I
look
mean,
you up
the
online.
insurance stuff,
Yeah,
straight to
goes-
court.
Okay.
The other's gonna be through me.
Okay, does that work, guys? And Patty, I'll just swing by the office and give you the email that we went yesterday.
That sounds great. Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. You guys are excused unless you want to stay for this big fun meeting. Not you, Vicky.
I got 2 hour drive back.
I'm sorry you're here.
Have a great.
No, Lincoln offered to come and this is a good opportunity then.
Thank you guys so much
When
for
did it
coming.
become
Meeting,
Lincoln
meeting
instead of Richard?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
That was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Thanks
you. This is Stacy.
for Seeing you in this setting.
I know.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks
Nice
for
to
coming.
meet you.
Have a safe drive home. I work at Gilman.
Okay. We have to figure out Doug's situation. He is going to be off for 8 weeks.
6.
6. So we have to approve Dennis to come back to work while Doug is off, is that correct?
Well, actually have Dennis coming back in on Monday
Oh, you haven't,
so that I have time to work with him so that he knows what he's
gonna do?
gonna do. I mean, he's never worked in winter, so he doesn't know. He's gonna be doing all of my duties, so.
Okay,
But you will be available by phone.
Oh, yeah, I'll be around. I'm gonna be scheduling those guys. I'm not supposed to
no, don't
physically
Okay,
work for
don't
6
talk.
weeks.
about what you're not supposed to do.
No,
You just
But-
do what you wanna
As
do.
long as you're available by phone.
yes, I will be managing still.
I just don't wanna.
Micromanage.
Yeah.
All right,
Everything's gonna be
so
perfect.
can somebody make an emotion? Now, that's gonna change.
Well, what's the duration or?
He's coming back for the year then, because by the end of that, he usually
Okay.
would be coming back at the 1st of April. So
Then why
you're
don't we
talking
make-
about 2 weeks, you're gonna let him, yes, he's not going, but he's leaving for school
Again,
again, to come back
early.
early. And then if things go right, I would like him to be on year round. moving forward, but we can't get to that until July.
Okay, let's stay where we're at right now.
Yeah. But yes, I have told him if he comes back, it would be for the season.
Duration.
There's no point in laying him off for a couple of
For
weeks
2 weeks
to
and then come back
bring
again.
him back.
That'd be silly.
So you were talking 8 weeks, that's where I'm at, 8
Mhm.
weeks from.
And so who's- okay.
Now, that is going to change our, budget in our, hospitalization, right?
Nope.
Because he doesn't get that? So, so it only changed the recreation department salary?
Yes,
Okay.
and I haven't even figured out, I don't think it'll put us over. If it does, it will be fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, we don't have a choice.
Because we are at 61% of the salaries used, and we are 7 months into the fiscal year?
It ends
July.
in June. Yes, 7 months.
We're 7 months
So we're
in, so we're
We should
doing
be-
all right. This is the low time, so.
Okay,
I don't think it'll turn us upside down.
okay.
If it does, we'll just have to give it a positive adjustment.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion that we approve Dennis coming back for 8 weeks before summer starts?
Starting February 10th.
February 10th.
I'll make that motion.
2 weeks.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'm
Okay. Travel ball has not come, so Doug still says they want to do,
Yeah, he called me late last week. The main guy called me and talked to me.
Is this?
Well, actually, we've been playing phone tag. We've left each other
No, it's not
messages
that one.
back and forth. He is currently down in Florida with his wife with stage 4 cancer.
Who is he?
His name is, you ain't gonna ask me.
It's not Scott.
No, this is a whole new deal.
Okay.
It's not Scott. And anyway, so I've been reluctant to
no, I
keep
get
outing
it.
him with
I
that
get
going,
it, I
but
get it, it's fine.
they are very interested, and right now what he's telling me they're looking at is practicing there, calling it their home, and having occasional Wednesday night games. He mentioned nothing about tournaments or anything at this point, so. My suggestion would be that because of the way that the time is crunching, with this to get taken care of, that you form a subcommittee of a couple people that can meet with him and get all the details hatched.
Okay.
And then take it back to the board, rather than having him come to a meeting and try and go through all the little tiny details and everything in this format. That'd be smoother and easier.
Are you thinking that could be done via email?
It could be. You could be doing a lot of that, that way. Just so that when he gets here, it's almost a done
Deal.
deal. Everything is worked out. It would go a lot smoother.
Okay, anybody want to volunteer for that?
I can,
If we can get the guy's name?
if we can get the guy name and phone number, email, yeah, I'll,
Toby McFarland.
Are we guessing? or
No,
is
that's
it-
his name, Toby McFarland. Just has to come around.
Thanks.
A lot of things rattling around up there.
I know exactly how that works.
Mine usually isn't hell tonight though.
I saw both brain cells.
The smoke puffing out.
so what I would recommend, next time you talk to Toby,
Mhm.
give him my email, and is there gonna be someone besides me?
I will be willing to work with you, I just don't want to be the lead on it.
So, because, well, I'd run everything past you anyway, you're the chair. You get stuck with everything.
Okay.
So give him my email, and,
Yeah, see if we can get some of this ironed
Get
out
some-
before,
Correct.
So so you guys are gonna like talk to them via email, get it all figured out, then we'll bring it
To
to
the
a
board
meeting and we'll discuss everything, how we
Correct.
wanna do it, okay?
and make the motion in seconds and all
A
that.
lot of the little minor things can be
Right,
ironed out
I just,
before you.
with Wednesday games, sometimes the university have Wednesday games.
It will
So
not
it'd be something
conflict
to-
with, they already know that they're third in
Just
line.
as.
Okay, oh, okay,
You know, because the coaches for this particular group are Josh View,
Dusty.
Casey Knight, Dusty Saker, or, you know, just,
Yeah,
Casey.
Do we know if the
There's
school
just-
has their, schedule out?
Yeah, but they, well, not for,
Cause if-
oh, yeah, for baseball, yeah,
baseball schedule.
Cause if we could get that
I
too,
can get that.
yeah, if you could get
Of course, I
that.
remember too, everything's dependent on where the snow goes and, but,
With that, typically, Beth, what we do is we just let the school and Little League hash that out themselves. I am not concerned at all about
No,
who's
I'm-
got a game on Tuesday or Wednesday or.
But I'm talking, if they wanna have games on Monday in the school, we need to know.
The
But what-
varsity coaches are coaching this.
that's what he was saying, it's our
Oh,
varsity
so
coaches,
it-
I didn't
it's
realize.
all-
Works
This is
itself
gonna
out.
be working itself, but we don't need to get in the middle of it.
Okay.
Let
sorry, I
them-
missed that.
Do that, and we just sit back and
About that?
Okay.
somewhat.
Let me ask this question. Let's say Toby sends me an email. Do you feel I should forward that email to everyone on the Parks Commission? So everyone's up to speed?
I do, and that way we don't have to go over it step by step by
Correct.
step.
That would be
And-
easier.
And
While we're
more
talking
people think-
about that, I'm no longer going to print your stuff out for you guys. You do your own, I see. So if you want printouts, you gotta print them yourselves. Because I just think we're using way too much paper, sorry, I didn't get up there.
Alright, so I will.
Yeah, just send out everything you get, and that way everybody can be up to speed and we don't have to take the time to
Catch up.
explain
last second.
everything.
Right, yeah, that way everybody would be, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Very good
Anything else on travel? Okay, number 4, I've been
Can I
busy.
make a motion? Or
Do we need a
I
motion?
be a point of contact?
Oh, sure.
I make a
And,
motion.
forward the-
Okay, Stacy will make the motion for,
Pat will be the point of contact for the travel ball, baseball. Everyone.
I do.
It's almost 7:00, right?
I thought it was at 7.
Sorry, that's okay.
Between all the meetings between 6 and 7. I'm sorry, why didn't you text me?
well, I.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Good, you're here at the right time, right here.
We're not catching up.
All right, that's fine.
I'll catch you up later.
I pretty much know it's.
All right, so, Stacy made the motion for Pat to be point for travel. I can second that.
I would feel more comfortable.
I will second it.
For travel ball?
Yes.
So basically what we said, Gail, is with this Toby McFarland who is putting it together, because he's in Florida, we're gonna start the preliminary discussion via email. And if I get an email, I will forward it to all of you.
Okay.
And so we can get feedbacks before we go back. So everyone's kind of on the same page, and then when we have the final meeting here, decide exactly what we can do. We don't have to spend a lot of time to get everyone up to speed.
Sounds good. I apologize. I really thought it was something hard. I really did.
Okay, so we're good with that? Oh, everybody approved?
Yeah.
In favor? Okay. All right, next we have the DNR Recreation Grant webinar on February 6th at 1:00. Gail and I have signed up for it. So we will watch this one. There's also another I don't know how to say the word, CATALYST, conversation,
Catalyst.
catalyst. That's February 11th. Trudy has been sending out emails about it. I am not available, nor is Gail, to go to that. If anybody else would like to attend,
That's the one on grant writing?
I believe it's got a little bit of everything in it.
You said go
Up at
to,
the
where
COP.
is it?
It's where the old, it's like-
COP, the Intermediate School District building up on Ranch Road,
Yeah,
Learning Lane, actually.
yeah. So,
The one that burned down?
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
I know you're in
Those
school, so you
Are not
can't.
times that are.
I am planning on attending that,
You are planning?
Yeah.
Okay,
I will try to make it.
okay, that would be great, Doug and Pat, maybe, all right, I can't. So that's that with that one. Okay, any other questions about those two? Anybody else want to join Gail and I on the webinar?
Sorry, I'm at work at that time.
All right, so we're going to number 6, review of 3 applications. Gail, you have one?
Yep.
I passed out 2 times, I made 2 different ones. One is on the old form and one is on the new form. I'd like to be able to send this to him by Thursday. So we approved the new form, so I say we send this one. And I will write, somewhere, like here, I'm gonna say see attachment, this is 500. And I listed everything because
Okay.
it will not fit on this form. No matter which way you try to do it, it does not fit. So this is.
So what have we agreed to charge them then? Am I behind on that too? I
No.
think
I didn't change the price, we're still at, the total, we did $1,000 per day, he's doing 2 days. Additional rentals day was $50 per day, he has 5, which adds up to $250. So the total is $2,250. And
That's pretty much what we discussed at the last.
yeah,
meeting.
nothing's
And that's
changed.
pretty
Nothing's
much what he
changed.
spent last year.
Questions on that?
Yes.
When you signed that agreement, where did decisions were made as far as 2 parking spaces in the parking lot?
All right,
That,
I'm gonna get to that.
yeah,
Okay, I mean, there are things before that's approved, we need to make sure that he's
I
aware
wrote on here, unfortunately, we will not be able to reserve any parking spots for you in the parking lot. We do not have the authority to do that.
Correct.
Okay, and I don't know what the other question was.
His other was he wanted us to block off the end of Club Road where you turn into Marina Park,
And didn't you say
right
that's not
across
our,
there, and
that's
that
not
is
our-
not ours either.
okay,
That's
so I
not-
will write that right here. Unfortunately, we do not have the authorization
that's
to block off any
County
part of
road
any
right
road.
away, and they will not allow us to.
Okay, so if
I checked, you may even tell them I checked, I talked to Ralph.
okay, so if I add those 2 stipulations.
Yep.
Are you guys
We're
okay
good to
with?
go.
We're good to go, those were the only 2
Yeah.
things hanging for me, were those 2
yeah,
things he was asking for that that's going for.
well, I know, choose the trust. I don't think anybody wanted to just give up those rights.
That's
What am I doing?
So what's the medical stuff?
My, I
Okay,
had testified by a
So now we can say that all the
You
time.
sit beside me, I've got enough for.
okay, Doug, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
We are
ma'am.
asking him to get 2 porta potties, right? Because it's over 400.
Yep.
So 2 porta potties and,
And those only need to be there for the 2 days of visit? sure
I'm
he
not
knows
gonna put that, he can deal with it.
Yep.
I mean, garbage removers or something. I don't
He
need
just
it.
needs to let me know what he's doing about
Okay, so
it. And
that,
that's just the way it's spelled out in your form that it says.
so I don't need to break it.
It says that You need to make us aware
So I need
of,
Club Road.
Yep.
I'll write this better, just so I have. Okay, so the next application, okay, so are we making a motion? Do we need to make a motion to send this?
If I understand this correctly, we're gonna approve the application pretty much the way we discussed with the 2 porta potties dumped, and that we cannot give them 2 parking spots at the trailhead because we have no control over that. That's the trailhead. And Club Road cannot be roped off because that's Sheboygan County Road Commission.
Right. Everybody good
I
with
make a
that?
motion.
Who, Gail?
Gail did.
Okay.
Stacy will
I might as
second.
well do something tonight, if I showed up late. I'm so-
And Stacy second?
Yes.
If I did that. I even looked. Wrote it down wrong on my phone.
Left me a message.
Second by,
I've been sitting there for 3 hours doing nothing.
all approved?
Aye.
Okay, so this one is done. Okay, the next one we have is, okay, is BLBA,
LTA.
Bird Lake Preservation Association. They would like to rent it on. Do they have a date?
July 12th. That was the upper
say it's
left-hand
usually
right
mid-July that they do it.
I'm sorry, I'm getting, okay, July 2025, they want the Cooperation Park for their annual meeting from 8 AM to 1 PM. Everybody okay with? Well, before we go any further with that, they also want to know, in our policy, number 4, it needs to, they feel they should not have to pay because they are underneath number 4, they're a nonprofit organization, and they had never paid before until, and I don't want to bring them up, but it is 4.
Yes, they,
I will say this about that, they contribute thousands of dollars to the township
Yeah, they should.
annually.
So
They
whether,
contributed heavily to Veterans Pier, to Bow Beach, heavily to Cooperation Park in the past. I think because that's one of those circumstances. I
it
think
can
we
be
can waive
waived,
that.
okay.
So did we, while I was gone, when we did
No, I
the
forgot,
policy, did we do that?
I
Okay.
forgot.
Well, we need to do that probably.
That's gonna be, I'll do that in public comment,
Okay,
and then we can do it next month. So we are willing to waive this?
Yes.
I
I
agree.
think so.
I make a motion.
Okay.
Gail made the motion. Stacy was
Not
second.
right along.
Motion to waive. And hopefully they might still.
Who seconded?
Stacy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all right, so that one's done. All right, the next one we have is, but I don't think we have, I just got an invoice for the park rental for, the chambers for $200
For Winterfest?
for Winterfest. So I don't think we have to do anything with that, right?
no, they're willing to pay that.
So there,
Yeah, they were,
we did 2 times.
No, then you got the women's club.
Okay. Women's Club would like to do their annual picnic on 6/24 at Marina Park. Right now, it currently runs into tune times. So would you be willing, if we have to change it, would you guys be willing to change your location? That's your date.
They wanted to be at Marina Park.
Yes, that's
Which
what-
date is that? The one before the weekend?
It's the day before he's supposed to start. They
The-
wanted the 24th.
Isn't it the Tuesday?
Yes, it's
the
Tuesday.
25th.
Yeah, so it's the day before. He's not starting on that day.
Okay, I apologize, and this is good, yeah.
Because that's a Tuesday and he's not coming in until.
Okay,
Wednesday.
and they also fall under the category of
Correct.
number 4.
I've never charged. them.
Right,
so
Raymond.
That just,
Okay,
you know,
so
right the hand of pizza.
we approved this one.
Yeah.
All is good, no annual, no fees.
Right.
Thank you. Do we need a motion or?
I make a motion that we approve the Women's Club rental
A
for the
second?
June 24th and waive the fee.
Sounds good, a second.
Okay.
Of course, I should recuse myself.
I do have a question with this, but did you bring those just because they were asking for the fee to be waived?
What?
The rental funds.
Did you bring those applications to?
I was given these applications.
Okay.
Am I not supposed to?
Well,
Two times I did myself,
Typically-
because I told him I would hope, I want to get him something by Thursday.
Right, two times, no, two times falls into board stuff. Many, when I first started, the board had made it's set up so that I had the authority to approve or disapprove any of the smaller events without you guys being bothered.
Okay.
So if somebody comes in on Tuesday and wants something on Wednesday, I can approve it.
Correct.
And it doesn't have to be a special
That's-
board meeting, it doesn't have to be.
I think this was because we had to decide whether or not.
That's,
we were
I
gonna
just
charge them
wanted
or
to
not.
clarify
Yeah.
that you didn't need to trouble yourself
And-
with all the small ones.
Right,
Okay. All right, so in the future.
No offense, we don't consider the Women's Club small.
Okay, so we don't need to.
But that's
do
something
these-
Doug could say, no, you don't have to
Actually,
pay.
Karen
Okay.
sent me,
We don't have to approve you now.
Karen
Okay.
sent me Bird Lake Preservation.
Yes.
So I just included it,
Yeah.
and I think,
Yeah.
and when I saw Bird Lake, I said to, what is her name? Jane, have you filled one out? She said, no. So she did, and she gave it to Gail, who brought it here.
Okay.
That's the only reason, but we can go back to,
No, it just simplifies things for you guys as much
Well,
as
that's
anything.
fine. If
I
we
wasn't
receive
aware
them,
of
we'll
this,
just bring
so
them
I
in.
won't just bother you.
Do you have a box in there, Doug?
Yes, I
Your
do.
own box, so if we
Yes.
get them, we can just throw them in there?
Yeah, well, typically they go right, or they go to Karen and she just
Perfect, okay, good to know,
brings them to me and I look them over and approve them.
that's fine. Just got figuring it out, that's good.
all right, so those are my 3 applications. Any public comments?
I have one,
You're not
I
a
came
public.
just in time.
You're on the
You're
board.
not
Your
public,
board comment.
Gail.
Oh,
You're next.
I have to wait, oh,
Yes.
sorry, I'm public too.
Not right now, you're not.
Well, I can't be, I'll
You
walk
were
out the
very
door.
late, but you're not public.
All right, sorry.
Whichever one I fall with. Board
fall-
or public.
Nothing,
You're public, be public. 'cause I'm
Alan,
not-
you're public,
Okay, I have a comment.
yes.
I would like to thank the ladies very much for the benches for the Row Beach. They came in the other day.
Oh, nice.
I was waiting.
So we will get them put together this winter. As soon as I get some together, I will get you pictures of them.
Oh,
We won't put them
wonderful.
out till the spring, but I want to have them all ready to go. So,
That's great. I got the copies.
Township
just
already
paid
got the
the
bill,
bill.
we just approved
Yeah.
it.
We're taking care of it, no worries.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay. Any other public? Alan, you got nothing?
I do have something. The 2 commercial people that were here, Big Bear and Northeast Outdoors, if they're gonna do big groups, I think they need to do a reservation policy. Application and policy.
To let us know when they're gonna be doing it.
And
Well,
pay
okay,
the
let's
fee.
back up. What do you consider a big group?
Well, they had a big group of 20-some, she mentioned.
She said 28.
That was a one-time.
Okay, so one-time deal, then,
Okay, as of right now, I'd like to keep it status quo,
okay,
and then we can look at it again.
public comment.
I'm listening. Next month you'll be up here. I think keep it status quo for this year, because we
See
just
how it
told them,
goes.
and see how it goes, and if they have more than 4 or 5, then we gotta relook at it. But I think right now, like she said, one of them only used it 3 times. I don't have any idea how often the kayak people used it. And if you guys, are out and about, and you see, just make a note of it, so we can kind of get how many times. But
Did you talk to them and ask them that if they are gonna use it, then they just should let us know? So then we should know then at that point, right?
He's very,
be very considerate.
very useful. He'll come down and unload his kayaks and take his truck and trailer up the road.
Yeah.
The park, he'll go up and park at the other.
I've always.
Public
known Richard
access.
Very.
He's
cooperative,
very,
easy to-
they're not hard to get. I mean,
Yeah.
they try to work around the people there. I do like what you said, move them to the
I just
very
don't
south
wanna-
end of the beach,
Yeah,
which
right.
is,
When I went there, they were right there.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is prime time people coming.
the one thing I am probably gonna mention to them is that if they are gonna paddle around like in the beach, they do have to stay outside of the swim pools.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that has nothing to
That's
do
kind of
with,
law.
Yeah.
So, okay. Any other suggestions, Mr. Allen?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, God. Public comment
Is closed.
is closed. Board comment.
Is this my turn?
Now you're up.
Okay. I think that when we start talking about the people that we do not charge for spaces and the people we charge for spaces, we should make a list of those people that we do not charge so that we don't have to keep discussing, did we charge them last year? Did we not charge them last year? Should they be charged? We should have a list of the certain people that we do not charge for that as being community people. So BLPA, Women's Club, don't get charged. If there's anybody else on that docket, that's fine, but we should really vote in, and then we should have a piece of paper that we know they are not gonna get charged.
I think that's what Doug's point was, is if he has that authority.
Yeah.
To make that decision.
Yeah, but
So
we
we
still
don't
need-
have to discuss
right,
it.
and if there is a question in my mind as to whether it's someone that is on the board, I'll bring it to you. If I don't feel comfortable with it, I'll bring it to the board, but
What this
typically in
will
the
do,
past, it's been
Yeah.
the ones that don't get charged are the ones that give back to the community.
right, I
The
understand that.
community, the chamber actually wants to pay because that's what
They do.
they're giving back. Now, last year was had formed the chamber less than a month before Winterfest, and we didn't charge them because they didn't have any money, but now that they're making money,
Right.
they're happy to pay that.
Well, what I'm getting at is, it's fine if it's in your control, that's not a problem. I'm saying that the more transparent we are,
Right.
and the more concrete we are, so that we don't have to be subjective in these situations. It's on paper and it's in place, and you don't have to explain your decision. So we're just kind of protecting you and us all together.
That would work great.
That's
And
my thought. But,
as they come up, write them down. That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense, because I would not remember.
I mean, really, we probably only have these 2 groups, but
Well,
like
there's a few.
Kiwanis maybe, or,
Honest, good stuff. I mean,
so.
yeah, it all
But
depends
whatever
on-
groups it are, that's why we should talk about it and put it in a list, because now you think one way, he thinks one way, and maybe I think the other way. That's my
You
only,
wanna try to come up
That's
with
my
a
only
list
issue.
for next month?
if you know who you charge and who you don't,
I would just say write them down as they come up, like you have the 2 now, write that up, the next one that comes up, put that one on your list.
So right now
Because for
you
me to
have-
sit and try to do it off the top of my head, I can't remember all these. When they come to me, I know who they are.
Because you got a screw loose.
Right, yeah, my shoes are.
You cannot use that all the
Patty
time.
has more than one.
Well, it's just, I'm just trying to make things a little bit so you don't have to think about it, it doesn't have to be discussed, you don't have to, all this. That's my only.
Anything else, Carol? Stacy?
I do, yes. It's fairly common knowledge that I have been sued by the former township supervisor and the 53rd Circuit Court for $3 million for defaming his name. So they have ordered me to save all of my records, phone calls, stuff like that. So when anyone communicates with me, be careful of what you say. I've got 2, possibly 3 attorneys. I've been talking to 3. They've been doing a lot of work for free. They keep laughing, but that's just the way it is. Just be aware of any communication you send me. Make sure it's strictly Parks Commission.
Will do.
And I would also like to thank the Women's Club for their donations of the benches.
Our pleasure. We're glad you're able to do that.
And a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn. Stacy made a motion to adjourn.
Can I second?
I'll second that.
And I apologize,
All in favor?
Aye.
for not being here. I'm sitting at home just waiting for.
Starting next month,
Hey,
10
that's-
minutes earlier.
10 minutes? Hey, that's,
Oh,
I
so it's
I
like
told my
7.
husband an hour and a half, so we're 20 minutes ahead of
You're
schedule.
good, you're good.
We're getting there, we're getting there.
Jane, a
Well,
question
you
for
put on
you.
the, line, it was at 6 to 6:30.
Well, that's because
You
do
can't
that.
leave until.
if we can get done by 6:30, we can leave. If
Jane,
we put till
has
7,
True Time
we stay till
contacted
7.
you guys at all yet? About his-
So that's why it's
Because
6:30.
it's
And I talked to Dawn today about a couple other issues and, they ended up not having the meeting last month. And, they're having a meeting in a couple weeks, I'll be, I'm out a little bit.
Good for you.
Yeah,
walk?
hooray.
No, I don't.
But, so I expressed our concern about the banners.
Oh,